feel like the industry really preys on moms, and you know, you feel like you have to have all of these things to get it right. There's so much going on for new moms, and I feel like the industry really preys on moms, and you know, you feel like you have to have all of these things to get it right. There hardly is anything that you must have. However, I do have some things that can assist you along the journey. One of them is a nursing bra. And a nursing bra because you need support. With that said, when you do go to the hospital, it's best to have nighties or, you know, sleeping wear that allows you to have access to the breast. So something that's probably a button down, or it's easy for you to pull down the shoulder and just pop the breast out, have access to the breast. Because if you have to be manipulating and trying to find a way for the baby to get to the breast, that in and of itself causes hindrance and frustration in the whole breastfeeding process. Breastfeeding bras on the other hand, you can or you can't, depending on what your comfort level is, but a breastfeeding bra must be able to clip off, pull down so that you have full access to the breast. Those that you have to push to the side and you kind of have to pop the breast out, those are a little bit more tedious, and I wouldn't recommend those. Just make sure you can pull it off and have full access to the breast. A breastfeeding pillow is not necessary. Sometimes it actually makes it a little bit more complicated because you're trying to figure out where to put the pillow, and usually I recommend getting the baby to latch first and then you put the pillow after. If you put the pillow and then you're trying to figure out where to put the baby, it makes things a little bit more frustrating. So breastfeeding pillow, a nursing bra, and what I do recommend you have is a nipple balm, because it's gonna get wet and dry. There's gonna be some amount of friction, so the nipple balm just helps to put back some moisture and healing in place. Initially, persons will say just squeeze some breast milk on there and let it heal fine. Or remember, there are no moisturizing properties necessarily for the breast milk in that instance. So you just need a little bit more goodness to put it back there, and that helps to support the whole initial stage. Breast pumps. I'm very iffy about breast pumps because especially in those first few days, it's colostrum, or even in those first 24 to 48 hours. In most cases, if everything is fine, you're not spending longer than that in the hospital. It can be a little bit discouraging if you bring a breast pump, you attach it to you start it and nothing is coming out, because colostrum is very thick. So the motion of the breast pump, because it's a negative and positive action as opposed to a baby's latch which presses down and removes the milk, you really might not see anything using a breast pump. So it's definitely up to you if you want to bring a breast pump, but don't feel bad or like you failed if nothing is coming out. It's really up to you. Sometimes they recommend that you bring it to help that motion get going, especially if you and the baby are separated, but that's where your hands come in. You can always do hand expression. The hand expression is a little bit closer to the removal of the milk, similar to how a baby latches on. So let's look at what hand expression looks like. For hand expression, what you do, you use your thumb and your forefinger. And mind you, everyone has their own way of doing it, but I've found that this works 9 times out of 10 perfectly. And then after a while, you get your own rhythm as to what works for you. So your thumb and your forefinger, the milk ducts are situated behind the areola. So you want to use your thumb and your forefinger, press into the chest wall so that you're pressing onto the milk ducts, and then you squeeze. Notice that my hand is nowhere near the nipple. The nipple is here and my hand is here. So press into the chest wall and squeeze. And a couple of times you squeeze it to kind of get the milk duct started up, and then you probably have a let down, which is just a constriction of the vessels to move the milk out of the breast more easily. And then sometimes you'll get a little squirt and then you know you got it good. And then here you'll feel like some lump of pearls, a string of pearls, some bumps behind here. If you press into those, that's definitely where you want to squeeze, and then the milk will start to drip. And you just do that a couple of times, and then probably sometimes again the C hole or the U hole to squeeze, but usually right here, and it should not be painful any at all. If it's painful, it means that you're squeezing the nipple. Always into the areola and squeeze. That's hand expression. And that's the best way, honestly, to get the milk to remove. Sometimes it's a little bit not painful, it takes a longer time, so it might get tiring, and that's when the breast pump comes in.